gun laws. A new CNN poll shows that 70% of the public supports stricter gun control. That is up 18% from our October poll that was taken in the days after the shooting in Las Vegas that killed 58 people. So something has changed this time. Will lawmakers take action? Joining us now is Democratic Congressman Josh Gottheimer of New Jersey. He is the co-chair of the bipartisan Problem Solvers Caucus. Great to have you, Congressman.
Thanks for having me.
You're the Problem Solvers Caucus. How do you solve the problem of school? Let's just start. Forget gun violence, okay? That's very ambitious. How about school shootings? Where do you start?
I think this is one of those areas, and I think the father of one of the victims said it best in the White House the other day. After 9/11, we all came together as a country, Democrats and Republicans, and we figured out a way to take on terror, right? And obviously made incredible progress in that goal. There is no reason why, as Americans, we can't come together and solve this. Every other country has, right, taken massive steps. Why can't we? And I think what you're hearing is Democrats and Republicans in the last weeks say it's time.
Well, you've been working the phones, even though Congress hasn't been in session, and you've been talking to Republicans. So are they on board? I mean, are there still impediments? What's going to happen
in our caucus, which is 24 Democrats and 24 Republicans, what I've heard, and we've all been talking, is what can we do? And I think that there's actually a real desire for action. You saw that. Hopeful. This is where I am hopeful. Then keep the voices, and it's the young people, right? And you and I were talking about that. It's those voices that are really, I think, really pushing everyone along, and why this time is different. And I'm very hopeful this time is different. But you have to find the areas where you can agree. And right, if we just retreat to our corners like we have in the past, nothing will get done. But if we keep up the pressure and keep up the voices, I think that's how it happens.
Well, I agree.
That's why you have to keep up the pressure, and I think present something that where enough people can accept it. And there are areas like background checks.
What would you do differently with background checks?
I think you need deeper background checks, ones that address mental health. And I think you need better coordination at all levels of government, right? You see law enforcement at different levels, and they're not talking to each other. And even though their systems are supposed to be in place, they're not in place, right? So I think there's steps like that when I talk to my colleagues, my Republican colleagues, they said, yeah, I can get on board with that. Those are things we can fix. So there's others that won't be able to, but I think there's an area where we can find common ground.
And you don't think
this is going to be easy, right? We've seen this in the past. I remember Columbine really well 20 years ago, and we thought definitely we're going to close the gun show loophole after that, right? But of course, here we are decades later. I don't think that, again, none of this is easy. We've seen this movie in the past. The question is now, can it be different? Can we keep up the pressure? And can we find the areas, instead of actually always bringing up the areas where we disagree, where are the areas where we can agree? And I think that's going to be what's different here.
One of them,
you know, that's not just in the papers every day, but it's actually people calling you up. And again, Democrats and Republicans saying, this time is different and we have to do something, and listen to the voices of moms and dads. And of course, all these young people who are, if they don't get you moving, I don't know what will. And, you know, that's why you have to actually, and I really believe this strongly, as that father said, and the mothers have said, we've got to act, we've got to come together. Right? There's no reason why, as a country, we can't solve this if we work together. And I think that's what we're committed to. We're going to get to work today on this, and that's what I really believe and I'm hopeful for.
I know.